Each business is different, but one thing they have in common is that they sell goods or services to their customers, and they invoice them for this. Some businesses may also keep records of their customer dealings leading up to a sale, such as the quotes they've provided or orders they've taken. Using the sales feature in AccountWrite, you can easily create and track quotes, orders, and invoices. Each sales type has a different background colour to make it easy to identify. When you finalise a sale, you can change your quotes and orders into invoices with one click without having to re-enter the details of the sale. AccountWrite provides different layout types, so you can use a different layout for selling goods or services. Choose the one that's right for your business. After entering the details of the sale, you can either print it or email it to your customer. You can even set your preferences to automatically email or print sales when they're recorded. We'll highlight some of these features throughout this training. In this module, we'll look at how you can use AccountWrite to record quotes and invoices for your customers. So let's see how you do this. To begin, click on the Sales Command Centre. Here, you'll see a range of sales features available to you, which allow you to manage your day-to-day sales tasks, such as recording invoices and receiving payments. You use the Enter Sales feature to record all types of sales transactions, whether it's a quote, order, or an invoice. Chelsea Cafe has called for a quote to have their water filter repaired, so we'll create this now. Click Enter Sales. We need to select the type of transaction to record. So click Sales Type and select Quote. Notice that the background colour changes to reflect this. We now need to select the customer. So in the Customer field, select Chelsea Cafe. We've set up the terms, address and layout type for this customer, so they automatically appear. AccountWrite automatically generates the next invoice number and today's date. We can change any of these details if needed. Check that the correct layout is selected, as this will change the way you enter the details of the sale. In this example, the item layout is shown. But as we're providing a repair service, we want to use the service layout. To change this, click Layout. There are different layouts to choose from. Select Service. And click OK. This layout lets you manually enter the details of the sale. Later, we'll also show you how you can save time entering service details using the item layout. In this example, the quote is for the repair of a water filter, so we'll use the description column to enter these details. We now need to choose an account. This is where the income we receive from this service will be allocated to. To review the income accounts that have been set up, click the down arrow in the account number column. And then select the account you want to use. In this example, it's the repairs account. Select this now. A GST code appears, and it's used to work out the GST for you. To ensure that it's calculated correctly, you also need to specify whether the amount you're entering is inclusive or exclusive of GST. In this example, the inclusive option is selected, because this quote is for $750 inclusive of GST. Once the amount is entered, the GST amount is also calculated for you. You can enter more detail about the sale if you want, such as the salesperson or shipping details. When you're happy with the quote, you can save it, ready to send to your customer. Click Save Quote. We've set our preferences to automatically email a completed quote, order or invoice to the customer, which is why this window appears. Check that the customer contact details are correct and the form is the one you want to use as the template for this quote. Click Send. Your email software will automatically create and send an email to your customer with a quote attached. Now that this quote has been saved, we could record further sales transactions, but let's go and find the quote we just created. So to close out of here, click Cancel. Whenever you enter sales, they can be recalled at any time from the sales register. Click on this now. Sales are sorted into different tabs based on their status. By default, all sales will be shown, but you can refine this list by setting filters, or by selecting the tab you want to view. To find the quote we just created, click on the Quotes tab. From here, you can open a quote to follow up with the customer, or change it to an order or invoice. We'll show you how to do this later. Click Close. Let's look at how to create an invoice. The way we do this is similar to creating a quote. This time, we'll record an invoice using the item layout. This layout can only be used if you've set up an items list. In this example, this has already been set up. For information on how to set up your items list, refer to the Help Centre. Island Way Motel has had their cooler serviced. The work was completed and also required a replacement filter. So the invoice needs to include both a service and an item. Let's now look at how you'd invoice Island Way Motel, so it includes both of these. Click Enter Sales. Account Right keeps the last sales type you used. For this example, select Invoice as the sales type. As the customer we're invoicing is Island Way Motel, select them now. Once again, the customer details are filled in for you, including the payment terms. But you can change the terms for this invoice if you want. The next invoice number will always be displayed. When you first use Account Right, you may want to change this to start from another number. And you'd always enter the actual date of the sale or service. This invoice is currently displaying the service layout, so change it to an item layout. We're now ready to enter the invoice details. So let's start by entering the details for the replacement filter. In the Ship column, you'd enter the quantity that you sold them, followed by the item you're selling, in this case, a large cooler filter. So to do this, click the down arrow in the Item Number column and select item number 120. You'll notice that the remaining fields have been completed for you, as these details were set up when the item was created. This includes the GST to be applied. The item layout can be used for more than just stock items. It can also be used for services, provided they're set up as items. And this is useful for speeding up your data entry. On the next line, you'd enter the details of the next item. So for this example, it will be the 1.5 hour service charge. We've set up this service to be charged in 1 hour blocks, so the only difference is that the quantity for this item is a unit of time. So you'd enter 1.5 here, and then you'd select the item. For this example, we've set up cooler service as an item, so select it now. The total price is calculated for you, as well as the GST that applies to these items. In this example, Island Way Motel does not have email, so we need to print the invoice so it can be posted. To do this, click Print. From here, you can either use the form that is listed or select another form as your template. For this example, select the form that's listed. The invoice details need to be recorded before printing, so then click Print. We have no further sales to enter, so click Cancel. In the same way that you can view your quotes in the sales register, you can also view your invoices. So go back to the sales register. Your unpaid invoices are referred to as open invoices in AccountWrite, so click on this tab. Your unpaid invoices are displayed, including the total amount of the invoice and what's left to be paid. Once they've been paid in full, they become closed invoices. We'll look at how to receive payments in the next module. The sales register can also be used to change your quotes and orders to invoices. Let's look at how you'd do this. In an earlier example, we provided Chelsea Cafe with a quote to repair their water filter. We've completed the work and are ready to change this quote to an invoice. To do this, click the Quotes tab. When a quote is selected, you can then choose what you want to do with it. So select the quote for Chelsea Cafe. And click Change to Invoice. The quote is now displayed as an invoice. You'd check the invoice details and update them if needed, such as entering the actual date the work was. When you're happy with the changes, click Record. Once again, the email window appears. Click Send to email the invoice. As this quote has been changed to an invoice, it has been moved to the Open Invoices tab. So go there now to view it. The sales register can be a useful tool in the day-to-day running of your business, allowing you to easily find and manage all of your sales records. Click Close.
Spending days, weeks, or even months chasing up payments is never fun and takes up time better spent growing your business. Get paid faster with online payments. Your customers can simply click the Pay Now button on their invoice to make secure payments. Back in your software, these payments are automatically recorded and invoices are closed off, which means less data entry for you. It's that easy. Ready to get paid faster? Sign up for online payments today and spend more time doing the things you love.